Good morning, folks. You're tuned to Car Connection, where the coffee's hot, the tools are ready, and the talk is always tuned up. I'm your host, Niall Motormouth Jenkins, coming to you straight from the Car Connection workshop, where we mix a little humor, a little know-how, and a whole lot of horsepower. Here it's not just about fixing cars, it's about keeping you rolling, saving you money, and giving you the confidence to understand what's under that hood. From the classics to the commuters, the weird noises to the what the heck moments, we've got you covered. So grab your coffee, sit back, join the crew, because this is Car Connection, your Monday through Saturday morning pit stop for stories, smarts, a few good laughs. And I'm Niall Motormouth Jenkins in the driver's seat this morning. Thank you for welcoming me into your world as I welcome you into mine. If you're joining us for the very first time this morning, a couple of housekeeping tips, 16 pack of Crayola crayons and a folded leaf bag so that you have a driving partner today. You can give them that and they can take some notes for you. If not, you can always find our podcasts on all the platforms, Apple, Amazon, and the like. Yes. So wherever you're pulling your podcast from, just place Car Connection Workshop in the search bar and you will find us there. All of our podcasts are now populating up and into, they're exporting, I think is the term. I'm a mechanic. Come on. Yeah, I try to learn as much as I can. Are they exporting, importing, or uploading? Does it matter? They're arriving there. Let's just say that into our YouTube channel. And I have to go in and populate, turn them from private to public, 10 per day until we get Series 1 done. And I'm working, I think we've got it, but I'll check that today, that the current podcast should automatically become public. So we'll see if we accomplish that. You know, these things, they don't make it easy for you to navigate, to figure it out. They kind of give you like an hors d'oeuvre, but then there's another box somewhere else, hidden somewhere under a log, and you've got to click that to save the changes. It's the most bizarrest thing. I'm glad they don't work on cars. Honest to goodness, we would have vehicles probably circling the roadways and going nowhere. Hey, well, you know what today is? Today is Vimy Ridge Day. The Battle of Vimy Ridge in 1917 went on from the 9th till the 12th was when they finally eradicated the enemy. And about 150,000 soldiers lost their lives there at the Battle of Vimy Ridge. Not between the 9th of April and the 12th, but it began, that battle for Vimy Ridge began around Easter time. Yeah, and early into March. So you can read it. There's a whole bunch of information about it, and the Canadians were the ones who pulled it off. So I think of all those soldiers, past, present, future, today, who gave their lives that we would be free. Amen. That's huge. I lost my granddad in the Second World War, was taken down by a German sniper. I never got a chance to meet him. So, Private John Nightingale. That's right. I am related. Private John Nightingale was my granddad. Well, let's move on this morning on a lighter note, but please, think of the soldiers past, present, and future that work hard to keep us free, that we have our freedom. It's important. It's very important. I think it's important that kids know the history, not bury the history, but they need to know the history, the pioneers, the ones that carved the way for us. Well, if you're just rolling through the drive-through, double check your order. I did that yesterday. I went through a drive-through. I don't do that very often, but I was out at our printers and graphic designer getting some materials put together, some new materials, and they got a brand new McDonald's in Thorold. It's huge. It sits up on a hill. Yeah, very cool. So if you're out that way, check it out. I hadn't been out that way for quite some time, and it wasn't there the last time I went. So, hey, it was a good cup of joe. That's all I can say. It was pretty decent. So if you're pulling through the drive-thru, lock that beverage down in your cup holder and join us for the next 30 minutes or so. Keep an eye on the road. And if you have a driving partner, a co-pilot today, make sure they're taking the notes for you. But we have everything for you on the home page of our website. That's the biggest drawer in our toolbox where we have everything available to you just by a few clicks. Go to our homepage at carconnectionbusinessnetwork.com. You'll find everything you need there to like and follow. Meet our program partners there as well. Just click on their logo. That'll open their profile page and you can meet them. And thank you for giving them your business, because without them, they have been the backbone of the transition from radio into digital. So without them, we wouldn't be here. And we're not monetized yet on our YouTube channel. We are working hard and diligent on that. Skippy and I put in a lot of time, a lot of effort, a lot of energy to bring you amazing videos that teach you the basic fundamentals of ownership of an automobile. You don't need to be a rocket scientist or a brain surgeon. You just need to understand and take in some information that will help you from and prevent you from being ripped off. And that's what we're going to talk about this morning. The topic is, what about the RO? And we're going to unpack that, because that is the beginning of the process to protect you against being taken advantage of at a repair shop. And I've mentioned this before. I spent a whole week. That's what we were being taught as a warranty input dude for a major car manufacturer. Let me tell you, you miss a dot or a tittle, you're done. You're done as a warranty clerk. And making sure that warranty on a car dealership level is getting paid back by the manufacturer. If that money has gone out the door because of lack of information and the claim gets kicked back, that money's gone. It's gone. And that's probably going to get you a discussion. Yeah. In fact, it might even show you the outside of the building indefinitely. So we're going to talk about that this morning, because it is a critical point to protect your person against being ripped off. And that's one of the number one emails I have received for over 31 years is, can you check this invoice? They scan it and send it over to me, and do you think I got ripped off? Well, you got to have both parties. You got to have the invoice in the car. So I've got to be able to look the vehicle over against what's been billed out on the invoice. Sometimes I can spot some things that are just stick out to me and go, I don't think so. That kind of thing. But most of the time, if I don't have the vehicle to check against the work order, the repair order, I'm just guessing as well. I don't know if they really took advantage of it or not. Did that item need to be fixed or replaced? I can't see it. I didn't see it before. All I see is the after. And did it get changed? That's the big problem right now. So we're going to cover that in just a few moments. So hang in there. We've got the daily weather coming up, brought to us by Earl and Louise Grant. Husband and wife team, they're car guys. Let me tell you, I have never seen vehicles as clean as the ones that they provide you. They're like brand new. Earl really picks them well. City Auto Sales and Leasing provide low mileage quality vehicles at fair prices. They sell no junk whatsoever. Their Greater Toronto Area's premier pre-owned auto store. In-house leasing and financing available. They do have a pretty decent sized inventory, but you know what? You can't carry it all. Simple as that. So if you're looking for something specific, connect with Earl and Louise Grant. They've been in the business 25 plus years. They have the resources to find these clean vehicles with low mileage. You let them do the legwork for you and save you 1,000 steps, all right? You can find them on our website. Everything is there. Click on their logos for our program partners, open their page, and connect. And you have a good chance to meet them there. Top right-hand corner of the home page is where you'll find our Car Connection merch. Grab some merch and help us, Skippy and I, in the battle to help those struggling with addiction. Proceeds going to Total Freedom Addiction campuses in Canada and USA, helping those who've made that decision to finally get rid of that addiction they've been carrying. So grab some merch, buy something for a friend, family, co-worker, neighbor, if you got a good neighbor, and know that you're stepping in with us and helping us to battle addiction. Help those to get there, to get to that new life that's waiting for them at Total Freedom, Canada and USA. Also, you'll find in that same top right-hand corner, if you haven't signed up for our YouTube channel yet, we have well over 200 videos up there. We're heading deeply into 300. They're all teaching videos. Some are short, some are a tad bit longer. We're not doing hour videos or hour and 52 minutes. I try very, very hard to keep the topic around 15 to 22 minutes. I'm conscious of your time. And that way, you know what, if it has to be a 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 part series where they're 15 minutes each, you can take a break and come back and watch the remainder. But on each video, you will learn 5 things. What it is, where it is, how it works, how it breaks, and the fundamentals you could have learned through our videos that would have prevented you from having to spend that money in the first place. Because the more you know, the more freedom and peace of mind you have when it comes to an automobile. Because I'll tell you right now, and I'm going to continue to harp on it, is the older vehicles are better, far better, and more reliable than this new stuff coming out. It's got tons of problems. Tons of problems. And if you want to get tied up in that, that's up to you. But for me, no thank you. If you parked one in my driveway this afternoon, I'd say, would you please remove that rubbish? Thank you very much. Yeah, they're just not hanging in there. There's lots of engineering problems. Every day I'm studying and doing research, I come across yet another disaster vehicle. More pattern failures. And these are big. It's not like, your glove box lid won't stay closed kind of thing. No, that's big. Engine, transmission, that's huge. It's car down. And the problem is, they got to retool to make correction, and all they can do is, if the first engine's junk, and they're going to change it and give you a new one, you're getting the same thing that came out. So guess what you can expect? Car down again. Anyways, let's not harp on that too long. We got stuff to cover this morning, and first and foremost, thank you to Earl and Louise Grant at City Auto Sales and Leasing, Greater Toronto Area's premier pre-owned auto store. 44 degrees right now, currently. Windy conditions. Wind is making it feel colder, about 30 degrees. Cloudy conditions from 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. with partly cloudy conditions expected at 6 p.m. Today's temperature range will be from 43 to 62 degrees. We'll feel more like, because of the wind, 29 degrees to 52 degrees. We don't have to shovel that, right? Yeah, any of you see that winter storm out in the Midwest? 2 to 3 feet of snow? Egads, man. They can have it. Let's see if we got any precip on the map today. Well, possibility of 0.15 of an inch. That'd be like a debit card, wouldn't it? Possibly. So that's what we have. Yesterday we actually hit a high of 55. I think it was a little warmer yesterday. It sure felt like it was beautiful. It was beautiful here along the south shores of Lake Erie. All right, we have to have our swiggy together. So whatever your morning beverage is, here's how we do it if you're joining us for the first time. And we thank you to the Greenville family at Niagara Block, 5000 Montrose Road, Niagara Falls, building Canada since 1931. Building supplies, all the building supplies you can muster. Hardscape Landscaping Materials, they have a list of contractors. If you don't have a contractor lined up, speak to Kathy Grimo and let her know that you're wanting to connect with a contractor to come out and estimate and put that beautiful backyard space together for you, whatever it is. Maybe you're building a workshop, a garden shed. I don't know, whatever your project is. Stop in at Niagara Block, 5000 Montrose Road, Niagara Falls, Building Canada since 1931. I think they know how to do it. Don't you? Yeah. Well, here's how we do it. Whatever your morning beverage is, raise your cup. We count it down, 3, 2, 1, and we have a swiggy together. 3, 2, 1. Yep. That's like gas in the tank. Speaking of gas, you getting gas pains yet at the pumps? That's an eGads, man. I'm telling you. $85 just to fill a little car. I can't even consider what it would cost to fill a minivan or one of these other trundle buggies out there, the big guys. It's got to be hard. Well, we're going to help you. We can possibly help you, but you have to participate. Soon as we taper off with this crazy temperature, outside temperatures, up and down, sideways, back and forth, and again, one more lap around the mountain, it's going to level out soon, I'm sure. We need about 60 degrees to really pull this off. Our 30-day fuel savings challenge. You do the work. I'll be your coach, guide you every day in what you need to do to get through the 30 days. And then after that, we do another 30-day fuel saving challenge, which could double your savings. Is that of interest to you? I use it myself all the time. And you know what? It works. And it works very well. Very, very well. Yeah. I'm driving a Toyota FJ Cruiser, and I'm getting between 27 and 28 MPGs. Yeah, forget this per 100-liter garbage. Give it to me in freaking English. Thank you. I'm okay now. Treatment's going well. Yes. Just let's not talk about car insurance or insurance, period. Not yet. I'm not prepared mentally yet to have that discussion. And maybe we'll bring a guest in for that. That would be helpful. And medication. Yeah, fuel. I don't think we're going anywhere on the downward scale for a while. So the best we can do is to do everything you possibly can to reduce your fuel cost in your automobile. And it's doable. As I already said, I've been running my fuel savings tips for years and years and years. And yes, my FJ gets close to 30 MPG. And it's not because of the rig. I'm going to tell you that right now. It's not the car that's the problem. I leave that with you. There's a question for you. What do you think the problem is that's costing you a ton of fuel economy? You're giving it away and maybe not really realizing all these little things that you could be doing will, if you implement them, will bring money back to your pocket and reduce your monthly fuel bill. It works. I'm almost getting 30 MPGs on a big trundle buggy. It's only a 4-liter. 6 slugs in the hole. It's a V6, 4-liter. It's got lots of power. It does everything I need it to do. But I need to do everything I can do to let it do what it can do for you. And that is save you fuel. So where's the problem? It's not the vehicle. In most cases, it's something else. So stick around for that. We will jump into that, and it will take your efforts, along with me coaching you, to help you get to that fuel savings, to maximize the fuel economy on all the automobiles you have in the driveway. Exactly. So let's jump into the topic this morning, brought to us by our certified financial planning professionals, Tony Miele, Miele, that's how it's spelled. You can find him on our website. Just click on his logo and it'll open. And Larry Tetro, Teatero. They're my brothers from other mothers, 50 years experience as fiduciaries. They currently have been working many years now with IG Wealth Management, managing portfolios, helping people retire debt, putting together estate planning. If you have a checkbook and a bank account and children, yeah, it's not something you do yourself. You don't go to the W store and get a $20 packet. But if you read the whole thing in the fine print, it'll tell you you need an attorney to check it. It's still going to cost you. You need to have an estate plan put together properly. I can't tell you how many stories I know of actual situations where that person has passed suddenly and the I's weren't dotted and the T's weren't crossed, and it turns into an absolute nightmare for the person who is the executor. It turns into a nightmare, folks. Don't do it. Don't do it to your family. Don't do it to anyone. Make sure you have a proper, airtight estate plan. They arrange mortgages. I haven't had a mortgage with a bank for almost 15 years, and I'm never going back to the bank. Period. I changed over to credit union only after my bank manager looked me in the eye and said, "Niall, I hate small businesses." And another person that I knew in business was standing behind me, and he looks at me and I look at him, and we had a few words outside the door of the bank. I said, "I'm out of here." I said, "That's it." I used to work with the guy's brother, and it was just like, I was shocked that a bank manager would say that. And that's when, you know what? I worked for a military instructor. He was a mechanic, great teacher, and he knew how to serve up discipline, let me tell you. And it's helped me today. And we all need a little more discipline and responsibility for our actions, period. That's my point. I got out of there. And my boss used to always say, if you don't like it, quit. If you can't fix it, finish it. But do something about it. So I did. I left the banking, went to credit union, and you know what? Haven't missed going to the bank ever. They treat you like a person at the credit union. That's my personal opinion. And they have a whole lot more services available to you, as well as what we call the discovery meeting. That's an hour and a coffee, we call it. And leave your wallet and your checkbook and your purse, ladies, at home. They're not going to be selling you anything. This is opportunity. They don't need any more clients. These guys, I've known them 20 years. They've been my personal financial planners for 20 years. These guys are amazing. There's nothing you're going to put on the table that's going to shock and awe them. Trust me, there's not. But I'll tell you this, they know how to work it. So if you're drowning in debt, listen to me this morning. Listen. Pick up the phone, connect, and get that discovery meeting. Sit down and get some of that weight off your shoulders, okay? Just do it. Trust me, do it. Connect with either Tony or Larry, arrange it by Zoom, meet them in person, meet in a coffee shop, invite them to your home, go to the boardroom, but no more excuses. Get your questions answered by those who have the credentials, certified financial planner. They deal with taxes, the whole 9 yards. You'll never get the kind of service that you deserve from a service advisor at a bank. They sell cookie cutter programs. That's it. No disrespect, but that's not helping you. It's not helping you at all. They don't do tax planning. They don't listen to all your struggles. They can't do anything outside of selling you. Did you want gravy on those fries? That's what I'm talking about. an automotive apprentice is not a certified licensed technician. They're in training. So you need to meet with someone who has the CFP credentials, certified financial planners. They can help you. They can put together a game plan, because I know a lot of you out there are struggling. And you're not the only one in the canoe. Okay? Just so you know. I know that's a bit of a long introduction, but I hear these conversations where I traveled. Yesterday I'm traveling and getting things organized for the next step for us. And you hear these conversations. People are struggling. They're in over their heads. You got to sit down and get some help. And it's not going to come from your neighbor, your coworker. Everybody else can solve everybody else's problems except their own. It's true. It's absolutely true. So what does this mean? What about the RO? Well, around 2001, is that right? Yeah, I guess that would be around, just after the turn, the millennium. 2001 was when I had to close the shop, because our automotive shop on the Hamilton Mountain, because, man, I damaged my back really bad. Lifting some carpet, of all things. Blew out some discs. Yeah, it was an interesting period of time for about a year and a half. And I wrote out my lease there because they wouldn't let us out of it. So I had to hire someone to come in and every day and move cars around, because I could hardly get in and out of a car. It would take about 20 minutes. And if I got down on my knees, I couldn't get back up. It was just over. So anyways, that's a story for another day. But having taken a job with a major European car manufacturer, let me tell you, I learned a lot behind the curtain. And I haven't even begun to share even a fraction of what I learned and how things work at a dealership. So I put myself in a position as a mole, and I did my job, but I learned what I learned what I always wanted to find out, was the nuts and bolts between the car manufacturers and the selling dealers and any of the politicking going on both parties. I became a very good player, and thank goodness for that, because me going in there and doing that, and they worked me 80 plus hours a week. Yeah, exactly. I made the money, and they wouldn't cut me any time off, sick days, vacation, nothing. I couldn't even leave the dealership to have lunch. It would cause a major problem. Yeah, in the upper echelon, the elites. But anyways, I got sent to a course on how, and just think about this. I probably have written like almost 1 million repair orders, not only in my own shop over the course of, we were in business in 1990, early 91, and made it to almost halfway into 2001. We wrote a lot of work orders. Call it a work order. The actual term for it is RO, repair order. So they sent me off to RO school. It was around 4 days of grilling, because if the RO is not filled out appropriately and it is a warranty claim for a customer, the warranty claim will get kicked back. And it'll say something like unacceptable, incomplete information. So they don't tell you exactly what's incomplete. Why? Because you should know that it's incomplete just by looking at it. So then you got to go through that RO and make sure what got missed. Part of a description, and 4 things have to be covered on every RO for every sequence. So if you go into the shop, first of all, let's start at the top of the RO, the repair order. Customer's name, address, contact number, email, smoke screen, pigeon, whatever. How do we get in touch with you? Yeah. Is it one big cloud, two short ones? I don't know. But that information has to be there. So customer's address, postal code, contact information. Next, the vehicle, the VIN number, the plate number, the make, the model, and the year. Intake mileage. The vehicle's arrived for service. The arrival mileage must be in that intake box. So it usually says in. Yeah, that's pretty easy, right? It's the out part that can wreck the whole ordeal. We need, after all the repairs have been done, there's a very important sequence that has to be followed. And here it is. So if you have 5 items of concern on your vehicle that you're bringing to the service desk and handing the keys in, it's important to make sure, and this is where it's on you folks, because I'll tell you what, there's a lot of lazy service advisors out there. They cut corners, and it's not a good idea because it leaves them open and it leaves you open. If things go awry, documentation, accurate documentation is the only thing you're going to have to present to whomever. If the information is not accurate and complete, guess what? Zzz, out the door it goes. It works exactly the same way for a warranty claim at the dealership. The warranty clerk has to make sure the service advisors and the service mangler have to make sure that every work order is filled out with accuracy. So if you have sequence 1 is an oil change service, you pick whichever one it is you want. You make sure all the details are in there. Oh, I'd like my tires rotated. That's sequence number 2. Okay? Can you check my brakes? Sequence number 3. I'm hearing a noise somewhere under the hood when the car's cold. Sequence number 4. Are you following me? That's how it should all appear on the repair order. Not sequence 1, blah, 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 blah. All in one. No. Each operation becomes a sequence on that work order. Why? Because you want the particulars on each sequence. If they found something during the oil change, they can record it there and give it to the service advisor. Come to the window, service window, and the service advisor and the tech lets the service advisor he's working with know there are some complications. You're probably going to need to get in touch with the customer. Those items, if you choose to have them done, will become another sequence. Sequence number 5. And all those things that you've authorized through the phone or by Zoom, whatever it may be, goes there in sequence number 5. And that's where the advisor should write, customer authorize these repairs, and put a date and sign and print. That's what the service advisor is to do. Record that information. So here's where it all goes awry. First of all, they now have computer programming where if they're using a really good program, certain sequences like oil changes, tire rotations, some of the basic stuff already has a description that they just have to click and insert it into the RO. But that's not the case with other stuff. There needs to be details put into each and every one of those sequences, period. So how does that get inputted? Through the service advisor. So here's what we don't want to see. service transmission, the labor and the parts. No description. Well, what did they do? Well, they serviced the transmission. Well, really, what did they do? There needs to be a description of the service that was performed in that sequence. No details, there's no report. There's nothing to report. The worst one I ever saw was a bill for like almost $6,000, and here's what it said on the parts side was an engine. Well, did the engine need coolant, oil, fluids, belts, hoses, spark plugs, whatever? Wasn't listed. Just one used engine and a total. Doesn't show anything broken down, not a thing. All the additionals. There's always incidentals, by the way, when you're changing an engine out. There always is. This broke off. That isn't any good. We need to change this hose. There's always something. Incidentals. That needs to be recorded. So then I look at the work order on the labor side. Here's all it said. Remove and replace engine. The total is like $5,800 and change in the bottom right-hand corner. Okay. Well, where's the details on that? Remove and replace engine. You understand where I'm coming from? That is a real record. I read that work order. It was given to me by a listener way back many years ago. Do you think I got ripped off? I go, I got nothing to go with here. This is the worst repair order I've ever seen in my life, and there wasn't any in mileage or out mileage indicating what? You know what the purpose of the out mileage is? Get ready, the four C's. This is how a repair order has to come together to put in a warranty claim. This is how a repair order needs to be put together to protect you from being ripped off. That's why I'm spending some time on this. I get that all the time. A scanned invoice. Do you think I got ripped off? Well, I don't know. I didn't have the car in front of me. All I can do is look down the list and go, does that all make sense? I don't know. It's an IDK. I can guess, but I can't really say for sure, put my finger on it. Unless I saw the vehicle, A, before the work was done. After the work is done, all I can look at is making sure that everything's put back the way it should be and that the work actually got done, because that's a big problem today. We're going to talk about that in a few minutes. Out mileage. If there's no out mileage, then here's what didn't happen. Concern, cause, correction, confirmation. The confirmation is a road test, folks. So if it came in with a mileage and it needed to be road tested to verify the repair work and there's no out mileage, was it road tested? It's an IDK. I don't know. That's how warranty looks at it too. If there's no out mileage, then it wasn't confirmed that you repaired it. The 4 C's didn't get covered. Concern, cause, correction, confirmation. Period. I listened to that for 4 days. We actually had to fill out ROs by hand, not on a computer, by hand, and hand it in and get it for it to be checked. And you wouldn't believe how many people still would not fill it out correctly. So, concern, write these down or re-listen. You need to make sure that for every sequence, what has been followed. Diagnosis. First all is the sequence. Concern. What is the customer's concern? Determining the cause. That's diagnostic time. You only allow them 1 hour. And you make sure that goes right on the work order, diagnostic time. If you don't want the 5 o'clock surprise, folks, this is the only way you're going to do it. If you don't want the, what? I thought it was going to be $400. $850? What happened? What happening here? Communication. That's what happens. If you don't take charge of dropping your vehicle off and making sure that the details are recorded, it's on you, not on them. It's on you. In standing in front of that person claiming you've been ripped off, if the repair order is not in order and the information's not recorded properly, it's on you, folks. That's what I'm trying to say. It's on you. You can't point your finger at somebody else. You didn't make sure that that person recorded your information correctly. Sequence 1, that is a concern. It needs an oil change service, but the service light's on. Sequence 2, diag time. Got to get to a cause. What's the cause? Only authorize 1 hour on that sequence. I'm authorizing 1 hour of diagnostic time and then a follow-up by either phone, email, text, Zoom, whatever you tell them is the best way to connect with you. You sign it, you print your name, you date it, and even go one step further and put the time right there next to that sequence. Now you're protected. So in 1 hour, when they get to that diagnostic sequence, they've got to get to the cause. So concern, cause, correction, and what's the final one? Confirmation. They got to drive it, road test it to make sure it's fixed. So there should be an out mileage on that vehicle. Even if the tech just drove it in the parking lot, there's still an out mileage. Period. There's going to be some kind of movement on the odometer unless he put the vehicle on his back and carried it in and out of the shop. And that's what was drilled into our heads. If it didn't need to go for a road test for whatever reason, and warranty always paid 0.6 on a road test. A little over half an hour, 0.6. So if there's no out mileage, you can't claim a road test. So if the tech really did road test it, but there's no out mileage, it really didn't get road tested. Following me? You're not going to get paid for it. It's over. Yeah, you can't go, oh, we forgot to put the mileage on there, and then you just make up a mileage. No, not going to fly. You're done. That tech's time is not going to be covered. So you've got to remember for every sequence. I hear a rattle at the back of the vehicle. Okay, that's a concern. That's another sequence. Okay, cause. We don't know yet, so there's going to be some diagnostic time. Okay, so there's going to be diag time. Cause, getting to what is the component that's failing or has failed or is working on failing and what needs to be replaced. So concern, cause, correction, confirmation. The 4 C's need to be covered on that repair order to protect you. And why repair shops wouldn't want to protect themselves and make sure that the RO is filled out properly, I don't have that answer for you. It's just tardiness. That's what it is. Laziness, call it what you want. Just rush them in, get them out, get paid. That won't protect you. You have to protect you, and it starts with the repair order, making sure that that service advisor is recording your request properly. Period. And again, when it comes to diagnostic time, you give them 1 hour and you make sure you lock it down and it's written right on the work order. Customer authorizes 1 hour of diagnostic time, requires a follow-up by email, phone, Zoom, whatever it is. And then you sign and print your name, put the date, and put the time right beside it when that conversation happened. Now, should something go awry and you get there at the end of the day and they go, oh, it's all, they call you and they go, yeah, we checked it over. It's all taken care of. But what they haven't told you is they're going to bill you 4.5 hours when you only authorized 1 hour. Following me? I hope so. I'm here to help you. I'm not here to hurt you. So you get there to pay your bill, and now all of a sudden you authorized 1 hour of diagnostic time, but they billed you 4.5 hours and they fixed it. This is happening all the time. And stuff that's not even being replaced, but you're getting billed for it. You got it. The last part I'm going to share with you is please ask questions. Ask questions. Don't be shy. Don't think that they're, well, what are they going to think when I'm asking questions? You're asking questions. Ask questions. If you're not understanding what they're telling you, say, I'm not understanding what you're telling me. Can you break it down a little in simpler terms? And that's the whole purpose of our YouTube channel, is to teach you this stuff. Teach you the basics, the basic fundamentals of owning and operating an automobile. You don't need to be a service tech. You don't have to sign up for a course. You're going to learn 5 things. Simple. What it is, where it is, how it works, how it breaks, and what could you have understood better about your automobile to prevent that damage from happening in the future. The more you learn, the less you get ripped off out there. And it is wicked right now. The stuff I'm seeing, the stuff I'm hearing is incredible. But it's a sign of the times. I've been through this type of economy twice before. Yeah, we opened our shop during the last recession. And my business mentors say, if you can survive this 1 year under this economy, you can survive anything. And we did. We did survive, but my back did not. That was an unforeseen. So when it comes to a repair order, I'm going to say this again. You're in the driver's seat. It's all on your head, not the shop. If the information's not being recorded properly, you're dropping the car off, not the shop dropping it off. You're dropping it off for repairs. Secondly, if you can't trust that service center you're taking your car to, then you're in the wrong place. Period. You need to find another repair shop. You need to ask around. Ask people at work, at church, at your ladies group, whatever. Ask around. Who do you know? That's all you got to ask. Who do you know? Where do you go? Has it been good there? They treat you all right. They don't rip you off. But if you're going somewhere, and I'll tell you right now, the big chain stores, the guys are paid flat rate plus commish, and they have to upsell. They're told what they need to sell. So if your vehicle doesn't need shocks and struts, they're going to push it. If your vehicle doesn't really need a set of tires, they're going to try and sell it. And I think it's a disgusting part of the trade, but it's still around. It's still with us. It's not changing anytime soon. But you're going to have to be extra sharp if that's where you're taking your vehicle. You're going to have to be super duper sharp because the guys get paid flat rate plus commish. And if they're not selling stuff, boop, out the door they go. It's a corporate world for them. I never agreed with that for many, 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 many years, and now it's a bone of contention again in 2026. You know, Ford's got a huge problem. Yeah, 22 service bays and no techs. Vehicles sitting, no techs to do the job. But you can't be telling people that they're making $160,000 a year when they're actually only making $24,000 a year on flat rate. That's the truth. So that's why they don't have any techs. I wouldn't even consider going on somebody's shop floor for $24 an hour when I've got $150,000 of tools I bought out of my pocket. Even before I opened my own shop, I had you got to buy your own tools. As a tech, you don't get to write them off because you're not a business. You're a service tech. You use your tools to make them money. That's right. That's how it works. A lot of people don't get this, the technician side. But now they're starting to wake up because the young generation does not want to get into the business. They don't want to get their hands dirty. They don't want to do the slug work. They don't want to do it. So now there's a problem getting text. But I say that to say, be careful where you're going to have it serviced. If you walk away out the door and you got questions, did he really check my spare tire to make sure that there's air in it? Did he really check my fluids? If those are little things, those are just little things that I've heard over the years. What I'm sharing with you is what I've been entertained with for 31 years being on radio. And now you have even more ways to watch and listen and engage with a fully licensed automotive service tech for free. I don't know where else you can get that, to be honest with you. Because if you want to ask a tech, you got to pay online. Ask the tech. Cha-ching. I'm here for free. And I just paid my licenses again. They were due April 1st, all looked after, so I'm in. I got my stickers where they need to be. And I'm working in the trade. Very much so. So repair order. It's all on you. Secondly, if you're always thinking and wondering if you've been ripped off at the shop you're taking your car to, then it's time to really look around. It really, really is. Shoot me an email. Let me know where you are. And I have lots of connections in the trade. I can point your compass needle in that direction. We're right now focusing on rebuilding our Car Connection business network. We had lots of businesses as referral businesses in all walks of life. And through the COVID campaign, it wiped 90% of it out. And it was a good thing. It was a really cool thing we had going since 2007. And people were really benefiting from it. And then towards the end, what was great was the referral businesses on the business network were giving each other business. So B2B was happening. And that's what I always wanted to see happen, was businesses doing business with businesses that are in the Car Connection business network. So pray for us. That's what I'm working on right now, is I really want to revamp that and bring it back to life so that you may not be in my area or in somebody else's area. We can start building another Car Connection business network where I vet the businesses myself. I don't care about their money to pay for the advertising. What I care about more so is that we have a vetted business that I can put my stamp of approval on. Because I have turned down some amazing offers over the years, but there's no way I could put myself in that position because I couldn't endorse it. If I can't endorse the products or the services, I'm not in. I will not compromise myself for anything or anyone, period. So till tomorrow, study your RO next time you drop your car off and you watch what happens. You watch what happens. How much information is not on your repair order? You need to make sure you correct that person and say, no, this is sequence number 3. When you say the term sequence, they're going to know you know something. That's going to be a little tell. You say, oh, no. I want that on a separate sequence. Oh, a separate sequence, you say. Exactly. I hope you got something out of that. Share it with your family, your friends. Get them involved in our online community. Get them involved in our YouTube channel. It's designed for all age groups: single moms, widows, orphans, children's, young adults. It's designed to teach you the fundamentals, the basic fundamentals that will protect you for years to come. We'll see you tomorrow. Have a happy Thursday. We've almost made it to the weekend. Don't forget about Fun Friday and Q&A Saturdays. 1 hour. I pick 3 questions that are emailed in, and we cover those 3 questions in details, and it usually takes up the hour. So if you have an automotive-related question, don't be shy. It's motormouth.jenkins@gmail.com, just as it sounds. Motormouth, all one word. Motormouth.jenkins, Jenkins, @gmail.com. I always try and remember in the descriptions of our YouTube videos and podcasts, I write them myself. And I'll tell you right now, I put a lot of detail into those descriptions that you probably won't even heard me talk about on this podcast. And it can help you even more. So take the time to read the descriptions. I always try and make sure I put one of my email addresses into the description box so you can connect. But just the same, you'll always see the link for our carconnectionbusinessnetwork.com website. Everything that you need to connect is on the home page. That's all you got to do. Get to the home page and you're on your way. So make it a fabulous Thursday. Drive safe out there. Keep it under 100. Happy, healthy motoring. Peace, patience, and kindness, friends. We'll see you tomorrow morning for another edition of Motormouth's Morning Drive. Bye for now.